The Light Sun Brigade's Library. Legacy of Khane by Sidney Beauclair. The rasping sound of stone against steel filled the guild hall of the Red Rose. Valin worked in focused silence. His thoughts settled in harmony, despite the dangerous quest ahead. The weight of a coming battle no longer unsettled him as in his youth, and he had come to see the angst as a familiar companion. Across from him stood his Red Rose mentor, sharing the peaceful moment with ease. Like him, he knew she was comfortably resigned to whatever fate Nor had laid before them. His two-handed sword, Vigilance, was old, its blade bearing marks of ancient wars. He pressed the family heirloom firmly against the spinning wheel, while Sidney poured a steady trickle of water onto the whetstone. The blade was simple, long, balanced, and modest. To him it was just a tool, not meant for glory, but for the grim work of a knight's dutiful service. The wheel stopped, and Sidney turned to refill the golden ewer. Valin ran a finger along the edge. As ever, memories of decades past resurfaced. Valin Khane is an aged and grizzled knight with many scars of war. Though his blood is common, his grandfather, Jareth Khane, brought the family renown through feats of valor. On the field of battle, Jareth was hailed as the Wall of Carlin. Walking in his footsteps meant that strength and courage were expected of Valin. Yet when the horns of war called on him, Jareth's shadow loomed heavy. In his first battle, 25 years ago, Valin the boy gripped the hilt of Vigilance with trembling hands. The steel felt heavier than it had in the training grounds. His battle line stood firm, but his heart hammered so loudly that he feared they would hear it. As the horde of orcs charged at them, panic gripped his heart, and his resolve faltered. He could not fathom why the heirloom brought him no courage like it should. Then he saw the fear in the eyes of the men beside him. Like himself, they were commoners, and he realized that they looked to him for courage. In that moment, something inside him fell into place, and he knew what to do. With determination that surprised even himself, Valin drew his sword and screamed as he stepped forward. With Vigilance raised high, it flashed in the radiant sunlight as orc riders crashed into their line like a storm. Shields splintered and steel rang. The fields of glory bathed in blood from man and orc alike. The battle rage took hold over Valin, and their line held. Where a frightened boy had stood, there was a lord of war, a knight of Carlin. Sidney returned with the ewer, her expression calm. Valin glanced up and gave a single nod. No words were needed. It was time. He sheathed Vigilance and moved to fasten his mentor's armor. Before them lay the Shadow Nexus, and should they fail, the realms of mankind would be overrun by Zathroth's demons. Valin's joints ached and body protested under the weight of his breastplate. The trembling boy who had once stood in Jareth's shadow was gone, and the man forged in the fields of glory now emerged from the guild hall of the Red Rose. Like his grandfather before him, Valin knew his worth. Service not for glory, but for honor. For Red Rose and the almighty Lord Banor